I know we all have some problems with Nintendo. I have problems with Nintendo. You have problems with Nintendo. Everyone, even if you're a fan, you have some sort of beef with Nintendo. We all have some bone to pick. But there comes a time where it feels like sometimes the hate for Nintendo is a little over justified, like a little overblown. It's some sort of modicum of the way. Like, I'm trying not to sound like, a Nintendo fanboy, because apparently if you defend something, automatically you're a fanboy of them. I have a problem with Nintendo. Like, my next rant is probably going to be the Amiibo rant. I have a really big bone to pick with Nintendo, because I want a Robin and Shulk Amiibo. The wait for Amiibo launch was fucked, okay? I understand this, but I just got finished watching Angry Joe's the final Nintendo rant, anti-YouTuber policies. And the description says, this is the final Nintendo Angry Rant, and the final Nintendo video on this channel. Tired of these guys claiming our videos as their own, while other companies are understanding how valuable YouTube gaming community is. Nintendo only sees free labor and dollar signs. I understand that he's talking about the gaming community in general, the gaming side of the gaming side of the YouTube content thing. But I just want to bring up something that, even if the anti-YouTuber policies, whatever, it's not just the gaming community that has to go through with this. I mean, I have the best example I can think of. The one that I personally think I can think of is Mr. Enter, who has been constantly battling Viacom for taking down his videos. And I'm guessing that's what you can say. The same thing. The same thing kind of it kind of falls into here. So I'm reading through the comments here, and let me just kind of hide these comments because I don't like scrolling down a whole lot. But a lot of these comments are people who are Angry Joe's fans who have subscribed to him, telling him that it's kind of time to knock this off. I mean, this comment, for example, it says, "You need to quit acting so entitled, Joe. You are basically making money off Nintendo. Quit acting like you are doing them a favor for free advertisement. You wouldn't be making money if it was free. Let's be real. Here, this is your job. A job is where you make profit off people's work. Nintendo exists long before you, and it exists long after you stop, quote unquote, stop doing Nintendo." This comment, while it's a little brash, I understand this. It is a little brash and a little kind of up there in terms of kind of you need to regulate the way you say comments, because you have a lot of Angry Joe fans who are going to be awfully mad at this. Of course, I mean, it's fandom. They're going to react the way you think they're going to react. Like this one, for example, here. Why hasn't Nintendo died? 5 words. Why hasn't Nintendo died yet? And I don't get this one because it doesn't have much water to it, and I didn't feel like commenting on it because whatever. But this comment right here by the person who will remain anonymous, who basically said you need to stop acting entitled. He's kind of right in some sort of way. I mean, understandably, what they're doing isn't right. But I have not seen a single other person come under fire like Angry Joe has, which makes me think that it's him. There's something you're doing specifically that's screwing with them. And you can say the same thing about, Mysterious Mr. Enter. Maybe there's something he's doing that's making Viacom attack him. No. I've seen other reviewers do primarily SpongeBob videos. They've had the same problem with Viacom. His other rant on Nintendo, I can understand that, but now it's like, there's something you're doing wrong, dude. And I hate saying that because I am a fan of your work. I love your work, Angry Joe. I understand this, but there has to be something you're doing wrong. Because I've not seen a single other person complain about this, because they pretty much dealt with it the way they know how to. I mean, Here's one comment that I think has a little bit more ground to it, to what's going on with the situation with Angry Joe versus Nintendo, basically. Joe, I'm not defending their practices. Maybe this kind of attention will get them change, and will get them to change their mind. Sorry, I can't read right now. A little kind of rushing this. I apologize. But if you do really care about your videos, you can easily unmonetize them and use those extra views to gain more subscribers instead of deleting them. You're calling Nintendo fans blind, but you're the one who's leading a bunch of uninformed people to hate on the company for reasons that affect a small minority. Again, this goes back to what I said. I have not seen a single other person complain about this, even after his first Nintendo rant. Other like YouTubers who post Nintendo content constantly, like Brain Scratch commentaries, for example, they have not had a single thing done to him. Or even I forgot his name. I'm sorry if I haven't got all this together. There are other YouTubers who are almost predominantly Nintendo basic. Like they post mostly Nintendo like content. They have not had any single problem with Nintendo. Like, I understand that, it does, kind of help the fact that, Nintendo is doing this. But here's another comment. I guess this is sort of a counter argument from somebody. It does not, anyway, wrong comment. I'm pretty sure I should, kind of get these up there. My computer's a little slow. I got a new microphone, by the way. That's probably why you should be able to hear me clearly. It's a Turtle Beach microphone. It took me a fuckload of time to get these, because these things are not... They're not cheap, okay? They're not cheap. I think this is an interesting comment. It says the thing is Joe could have prevented this and ended what Nintendo was doing now beforehand. YouTubers like PewDiePie were backlashing Nintendo, but what did Joe do? He waited until something happened to him. If he would have joined the other YouTubers, it could have gone big, and Nintendo would have dropped partnership thing and let content go free. Instead he left it the way it was. It is. I'm not trying to say that this is his complete practice. I'm for sure Joe isn't like this, but it is a sleazy way to do, to just wait for something to happen. Excuse me. It is a sleazy way to do, to just wait for something to happen to you and then counter it instead of taking action yourself. I see this way too many times with other YouTubers, and it's usually a problem with this content system that other YouTubers just wait for something to happen instead of taking action themselves. I would be a Let's Player, but I don't feel like dealing with the content ID. I would be like a game critic like Angry Joe, but I don't want to deal with the content ID yet. Here's one that gotta make me laugh a little. Seriously, motherfucker, you purposely put a video infringing Nintendo's shitty policies and didn't wait for it to be taken down to make fucking drama about it? That's kind of right in some sort of way. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is wrong with you? Goddamn, I'm pretty sure I cussed less than this. I hope I cussed less. You expect me to believe this bullshit? Sure, Nintendo's doing shitty shit. Of course they are. That's my next rant. But get the fuck over it. Don't come here doing this pathetic sad dog faces and expect me to believe your ass. I mean, half of his fan base is gonna believe this because they are his fan base. They're here right now, basically, trying to defend him when I'm a fan of his work, and I don't approve of this because it's a problem that you should be able to take care of because other YouTubers have done this before. And well, here's a dumbass. I guess here's a dumbass argument. Nintendo must be laughing their asses off at everyone rolling in their money. Let's look at Call of Duty. Very typical argument to compare. You know, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he compares Mario to Call of Duty. It's a very typical argument. It gets ripped. It gets ripped on all the time of being the same game over and over again. Blah blah blah. Nintendo does the same shit too. Blah blah blah. Here's the difference between a Call of Duty and a Nintendo. Nintendo actually puts effort into making the game that they want people to know that. Sorry, I wrote that wrong. They put effort into making the game that they know for sure people want. The thing about Call of Duty is they don't care about the quality of the game. They don't care that it's the same thing over and over again. Nintendo at least switches it up between the 3D Marios and the 2D Marios. Understandably, I think this guy's argument is that it's the same game over and over again, so therefore Call of Duty is the best example to compare it to, which actually, no, it isn't, because even if the game is the same thing over and over again, they do change it up. Call of Duty is the same formula over and over and over again. Like, yeah, say what you want by Nintendo, at least they add new power-ups and a new dimension to the game. Like, for example, Super Mario 3D World versus Super Mario 3D Land. That's a very gradual change between two things, even though it's the same formula. Mario is the classic example of don't fix what isn't broken. Call of Duty is, it's making us money, let's keep doing it again. That's the difference between a Call of Duty and a Mario, but this is a Call of Duty or Mario rant. It's an Angry Joe rant. Again, I want to reiterate, I'm not a fan hater. I love Angry Joe's work. I love his reviews. He's fucking entertaining. Like, from everyone who's on the channel, Awesome, Nostalgia Critic, Linkara, Angry Joe, Todd in the Shadows, and the Rant Critic are my favorite. Those are all the ones I only come to Channel Awesome to see. And Angry Joe is one of my favorite reviewers, but this there's certain things about him that I just don't get. Like, instead of retaliating, he just sits here and waits for the bait. Like, almost like throwing a fish line, did I say fish line? Throwing your fish hook into the water and just waiting for them to take the bait, and then complaining that they're taking the bait. Like, understandably, I still want to say that there has to be something that you are doing that has to be affecting them, because I have not seen a single other YouTuber deal with this. Maybe this is my bias, I don't know, but I just want to say where I'm coming from when I'm ranting about this. Ranter Circus, please join me for the In Vivo rant.